Have you had feelings of sadness or anger ever since the Zack Snyder Justice League trailer? Have you had symptoms of denial that Jared Leto doesn't look absolutely dope as the Joker? Or what about symptoms of idiotic arguments that Darkseid doesn't look comic book accurate? Another symptom you may have is that Henry Cavill doesn't look dope in the black Superman suit. If you notice these symptoms, you suffer from Snyderosis. Or it could be, or you're just plain stupid. Attack! What up, YouTube? It's your boy Fatal J, back like I left something, and I'm glad you here. Yeah. Now, as you know, the magnificent, the most glorious trailer of the year just dropped, and the world went mad, the world went nuts, and it was absolutely dope. Now, 90% of planet Earth liked the movie, but you still had people, some particular haters, for instance, that didn't like the trailer. They had to say certain things about the Joker. They had certain things to say about Darkseid and the black suit Superman. You know, the same old weak arguments, because they haven't realized at this point that they lost. And they knew 100% that the Snyder Cut didn't exist. And now you can really see people not humbling themselves and realizing, hey, I was wrong. Let me rock with the crew and let's make DC stronger. But we're going to be talking about that, why these haters are so blind and don't realize what this movie truly means for movie watchers and DC fans and comic book fans in general. But before we get into that, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell, because every time you hit that notification bell, it makes me feel oh so good and oh so swell. Thank you very much for that. And in the comments below, make sure you to join that Ninja Patreon, become a producer of the Fatal J Show for $1 a month, $12 a year. You can produce the Fatal J Show and get some dope, amazing perks to go with that. Also, in the comments below, in the description below, make sure to join that Ninja Blast comic book email list. And the reason why I'm asking you to do this, bars. The reason why I'm asking you to do this is because on March 1st on Indiegogo, I need backers to produce this comic book, to ship this comic book out to you in a timely manner. And if you understand about the mail and post office and UPS and all those dudes, that shipping can get really expensive. So I need your help. Thank you very much. And now let's get into some dope Snyder Cut news. First off, before we get to the Snyder Cut haters, we got some dope news coming from Zack Snyder himself. After the Snyder Cut movie, Zack is going to move on to other movies. Of course, you know he got a zombie movie, Dawn of the Dead, coming out. But we also, from Zack Snyder himself, is going to do a King Arthur type movie. And as you know, when it comes to Fatal J, I love Merlin. Merlin is the dopest wizard. Him and Gandalf are the dopest wizards. And no, I'm not into that Harry Potter stuff, because Harry Potter is weak to me and garbage, and they have little wands. I don't want no wand. I want a staff like Merlin and Gandalf. But let's read this right here. It says, Zack Snyder developing faithful retelling of King Arthur's legend. Director Zack Snyder confirmed he's working on a faithful retelling of the King Arthur legend in hopes to make it at some point in the future. Let's continue reading. The director Zack Snyder confirmed he's developed a retelling of the King Arthur legend. I'm working on something, but we'll see. Snyder said in an interview with Minute Men, I've been thinking about some kind of retelling, like a real sort of faithful retelling of that Arthurian mythological concept. We'll see. Maybe that will come at some point. If you watch Zack's movies, especially when it comes to the DCEU movies he been making. You can tell he has a little sprinkle of that King Arthur and that medieval sword and sorcery type themes in his stuff. And I love it, man. I love that stuff. I love swords. I love shields, fighting dragons. Now, I know the King Arthur joints might not go that deep into the fantasy, but it's still fantasy. And I hope to see some dragons. I hope to see Merlin doing his wizardry thing. I want to see all of that. And I know visual-wise, you don't have nothing to worry about, because when it comes to visuals, Zack is the king, and a lot of people will have to bow down. I'm just being truthful. This movie and Dawn of the Dead and anything that man touched, and I ain't trying to be a fanboy, but maybe I am one, is going to be dope either way, because he's passionate about it, his heart is in it. And let's get to the next news. Zack dropped a lot of dope news on the Miniman stream. One of them was this. He said, Zack Snyder DCEU dead after Justice League. Let's check it out. I hate to hear that. I doubt that, but let's read this article right here. It says, Zack Snyder again says there's no interest from Warner Brothers in continuing with his DCEU following the release of Justice League next month. While appearing on the iMinute Man YouTube channel, Snyder offered the following. This is what he said. This is Zack's own words. He said, the reality is, as far as I know, there's no interest in or appetite to do more of these movies from Warner Brothers with me anyway. But I didn't think finish this film correctly would ever happen. But I did my best to. As far as the creation of the Justice League, those different personalities being brought together, that idea, that's what this movie is about. There is a suggestion, of course, in the film, as there will be within any of these movies, of a larger universe that's still out there. You can read so many things until what Zack just said. I know he can't just flat out say things, but Warner Brothers, seems to me, they've been sabotaging. They're not behind this. They're not behind the movie. They never thought it would be something big. I think they thought it was just something dope to put on the streaming service. They never knew that the whole world was really going to be pumped up about this. I remember Film Gob said this. Film Gob said this a lot. He said, DC want to move it to another direction. They want to be in that Marvel type of light. They want to make those movies like Marvels, those happy-go-lucky movies that always end the same. Nobody dies, no risk, no nothing like that. See, in DC, Zack Snyder seen the vision. It can be brutal. It can be dark. Look at Joker. People want movies like Joker. They want those dark movies. They want that dark Batman. They want that Superman with flaws. They want that Superman that's not happy-go-lucky and saving cats out of trees. Stuff like that. People want that realism, you know? It's good for Marvel to do what they do, but let DC do what they do. I knew that was the biggest complaint with everybody saying, oh, they're trying to be like Marvel. Well, since Zack is trying to do it like this, y'all rock with that, Warner Brothers. You got a nice little groove going on. Keep it moving and don't drop the ball. So you let me know what you think about that. Now let's get into the haters. Like I said, y'all might think I'm playing. Y'all might think I'm joking. But seriously, you can look at the comments. There's comments of people hating on the Zack Snyder Justice League trailer. They didn't like how Joker looked. They didn't like how, I almost said Deathstroke. They didn't like how Darkseid looked. I don't understand this. I really don't. Well, I could understand this because you got everybody around the world who has different opinions. A lot of people looked at that Zack Snyder Justice League trailer and hated it from start to ending. I can understand that. This is what I can't understand for the life of me with the haters. Let your ego go to the side. Brush your ego to the side. This movie is so much bigger than what they're doing to your beloved characters. You don't understand that. This movie is huge because the big corporations like Warner DC is listening to the fans, and the fans are showing up and showing out, and they're showing you, they showing Warner Brothers the numbers. They showing that these people have a big demand to see this movie, and it's disrupting the Matrix. Warner Brothers was thinking this wasn't supposed to go like this, and now the fans are taking over. And I think with the fans being loud enough, we're going to see more sequels from Zack Snyder. At least he can finish his 5-movie arc. His 5-movie arc, which was Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League, Justice League 2, and Justice League 3. And then it's over. If we could just see that, everyone will be satisfied. But back to the haters. You have to understand, if this movie pops off, if it pops off for the fans, and the fans get what they want, well, let me tell you something, haters. If y'all have a big demand for another movie, then maybe they will listen to you after they see, hey, you know, instead of us listening to the guys in the suits who don't have a clue about comic book lore and Marvel lore and DC lore, we should listen to the fans so we can quadruple our money. Because, you know, last time we checked, these movies were supposed to make money. It's all about the money. We can both be satisfied. The fans can be satisfied and the suits can be satisfied. And when I say suits, I ain't talking about superheroes. I'm talking about them guys in them suits that don't have a clue what they doing and thinking about. You get back at your boy Fatal J and let me know what you think. What do you think about the haters? Do the haters don't see? Do you think the haters gonna come around? All I know at the end of the day though, when this movie drop, the haters will bow. Get back at your boy Fatal J, and guess what I have to say? Ninja vanish.
The time for talking is over. It's time to push buttons.
The stars out tonight. I don't move behind, but I can't see a thing in the sky.
Ninja vanish.